everybody. Hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. Can't believe we woke up today to see the horror of another plane crash in America. We'll get to that. The bulk of today's broadcast will be talking about Diddy, the superseding indictment, Justin Bieber. We've got Jay-Z, and we've got a bit of Luigi Mangione as well. So, if you guys saw my shows last night, we had Professor Hamamoto on, followed by Lionel. It was quite a good double whammy of intellectual wit and Diddy news. Both commented on the superseding indictment and gave their thoughts about the grand scheme of things. But we've not took a complete look of the entire indictment yet. And I am going to do that. But first of all, let me just go over some of the headlines that we're going to be talking about. So we got Diddy accused of transportation of 2 additional women in the new indictment. We've got Jay-Z's team making a major legal request in the lawsuit. We have got the entire superseding indictment to go over. There are several stories about Luigi. In the last 24 hours, people who knew Luigi describe him as a thoughtful, well-adjusted young man who struggled with back pain. His grandmom left family members millions so long as they didn't commit crimes. His political views from left and right. He had concern for the future of humanity. And then we also had a counter to this claim that the house that Jane Doe alleged things happened at with Diddy and Jay-Z, Tisa Tells put a video out saying that the house does exist and that Diddy owned it from 1998 to 2023. Shout out to Tisa Tells, who's been doing some great work on this case. While many in the Diddy sphere have been falling out and attacking each other online, people like Tisa Tells, Popcorn Planet have just stayed firm and focused on the news, which is very important, but a lot of people have been distracted by infighting. And this plane that's crashed in Philly, and we've got a headline here, child returning home from receiving life-saving treatment was among 6 people on board doomed Pennsylvania plane, which is really sad. All right, so this article is going to touch on the indictment, and then we'll take a closer look at the full indictment. So I was on the road in London doing schools talks when this hit. Every time I go on the road and spend the night out, there's always breaking news on Diddy. But nonetheless, we had a great time last night with Hamamoto and Lionel, both of whom had me laughing, almost falling out my seat. So, as many of you know, Diddy was accused of transportation of 3 women in this new indictment that was filed on Thursday. But no additional charges have been filed against him. And no co-defendants. We were all hoping for some fellow racketeers to be named by now. We also have to add that Diddy is vehemently denying all the allegations. And his attorney, Mark, has responded to the latest indictment in a statement. Quote, "The latest indictment contains no new offenses. The prosecution's theory remains flawed. The government has added the ridiculous theory that 2 of Mr. Combs' former girlfriends were not girlfriends at all, but were ladies of the night. My word. Mr. Combs is as committed as ever to fighting these charges and winning at trial." So prosecutors are saying that Diddy transported the 3 women as well as professional ladies of the night across state lines. None of them are identified by name in the indictment, but one is apparently Cassie. And we know all about the Cassie lawsuit being settled. The details of one of the incidents listed in the indictment are similar to a widely reported altercation between Cassie and Diddy. Prosecutors saying that in March 2016, Diddy was pictured on hotel security camera hitting a woman and then dragging her back to the room where one of his alleged freak-off parties was in progress. And in May of last year, the security footage emerged, and it was horrendous, showing Diddy with the towel wrapped around him, kicking Cassie as if she were a football, chasing her down at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, LA. She tries to get into the elevator. He grabs her by the back of the head, throws her to the ground, kicks her motionless body multiple times, and drags her back to the hotel room by her clothes. And then he did that phony apology. And the lawyer is saying that the video didn't indicate that his client had committed transportation. May have indicated a lot of things, but they're saying it was not carnal transportation. So Diddy has recently accused the feds of disguising themselves as prison guards to search his cell for additional evidence against him for his criminal trial. The superseding indictment is similar to the initial one. In addition to accusing him of transporting additional women, it also extends the time frame in which he is accused of the racketeering conspiracy. He was first accused of being involved in a criminal organization responsible for kidnapping and drug-related crimes as far back as 2008. But they're now saying the illegal activity began 4 years earlier in 2004. The indictment expands the lists of substances, including the white powder. Initially, that's what it was cited, the ket and the oxy. But the new superseding indictment adds meth, magic mushrooms to the list of substances. And he's accused of trying to encourage women to have carnal relations by plying them with these substances, including the disco biscuits and the ket. Prosecutors are saying he offered the women financial compensation and promises of career advancements if they partook in freak-offs. And the superseding indictment includes the allegation, apparently, we believe, from fashion designer Brianna Barna Bongalon, that Diddy dangled her over the edge of a 17th floor balcony. Although Bongalon claimed not to have been involved in a freak-off that allegedly happened just before the incident, she said an intoxicated Diddy stormed into Cassie's apartment where she, who was friends with her, had been sleeping. She hid on the balcony only for him to storm out and hold her over the edge under her arms, threatening her with potential death. And then he returned to the apartment. They tried to calm him down, but he allegedly threw her against the balcony furniture. And Diddy is denying that that incident took place. All right, so that is an overview. Let me find. So I've got the whole thing here. And reading the beginning of these things, it's very repetitive. It lists the co-defendants as being Diddy and goes over the nature of all the businesses, how he employed the businesses. On one occasion at an LA hotel, which was captured in video, Diddy kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave. When a member of the hotel staff intervened, he attempted to bribe staff members to endure silence. He paid the hotel security $100,000 for the hotel surveillance footage of the assault. So we know that's Cassie, even though it doesn't say it. So that's cited early on in the superseding indictment. Then it lists all of the purposes of the Combs enterprise, which we've gone over before. Commercial carnal acts involving male carnal workers employed for freak-offs. Talks about the substances used. Members and associates Um, and this is why I'm perplexed as to why no one's been named yet, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and others facilitated these activities. So, but they make it clear that this indictment, there's going to be